Hey kids, this is Mrs. Essary. I wanted to do a really quick video of talking about some of those tricky word reading, multisyllabic words, scooping with reading fluency, and then comprehension. So I wanted to show you this sheet that I picked out, and I'll be sending it to you guys later. So right here, we're going to do a story about space travelers. It's all about Jack and Jill, but they go off into space and they look for a new planet. So I picked out some of the tricky words, and then you guys can say them, and we'll read them. So like this one, I said space travelers. What would we say, guys? Space travelers. And then I broke it up. I don't know if you guys can see it, into the tricky words. Travelers. Then I went to the next one and we said roamed. What were, guys? Roamed. So they were wandering around. They roamed on a new planet. Let me show you this one. Okay? It says adventure. What word, guys? Adventure. Add, first close syllable, then, chur, adventure. And I wrote chur up above that because remember, T-U-R-E, chur, is a suffix and it goes at the end of the word. The next word you guys can see here is discovered. What word, guys? Discovered. Discovered. Now here's a big phrase, and I highlighted that one too. Between two giant rocks. Everybody say that, ready? Between two giant rocks. And remember, that G is saying J. What sound, guys? J. It's a soft G, J. Then the next one, say happened. What word? Happened. Happened. Happened is a closed syllable. So we divide between the P and the P. Happened. Now here's another big phrase. Toward their spaceship. Everybody say that. Toward their spaceship. Toward is a hard sight word. You can't sound it out, but I did divide it for you. So we would say toward, divide between the O and the W. What word, guys? Toward. And then we would say spaceship. What word, guys? Spaceship. And remember, that's a compound word right there. So we divide between the E and the S. It's the silent E, so it'd be A space, I ship, spaceship. Good job, guys. Now, here's the next page I want to show you. This is the page for reading fluency, and you'll see me time myself in a minute. You guys have seen these a lot. The next page is the fluency that I'm going to be emailing out and assigning to you guys. It's called Space Adventures. So remember when we scoop in phrases so that we don't read like a robot. We've talked about that a lot, guys, right? So watch as I read this to you and we scoop it. And then I highlighted those tricky words and phrases, okay? So this is called Space Adventures. Jack and Jill were space travelers. So they're traveling in space. They roam the stars looking for adventure. So they're flying in their ship all over looking for fun things to do in space. One day, Jack and Jill discovered a new planet. Now what does discovered mean? Discovered means found. So they found a new planet. Just what they were looking for. That's got an exclamation mark. They're excited. They parked their spaceship between two giant rocks. So I want you guys to picture that in your head. Here's a big rock, a huge boulder. Here's a rock, and then there's a little spaceship in between. They got out and started to look around. So they're looking around. The new planet was dry, without any plants or trees. So guys, it looks like a desert. No plants, no trees, probably just something like soil. It didn't look like anyone lived there, so they think it's deserted. But wait, Jack found a lake. So who found a lake, guys? You want to remember this. Jack found a lake. He dipped his toe in, hoping something might swim over. So I want you guys to picture a boy sitting down, and he just dips his toe in just barely into a pool. Nothing happened. So they're like, Jill jumped in and splashed around. So now Jill jumps in and she's swimming. Nothing happened. They started back toward their spaceship. So now they're walking toward their spaceship. If there was no life on the planet, they would keep looking somewhere else. Now, guys, I set your goal for 91 words where it says toward their spaceship. Do you guys have to get that high? No. Our goal for the end of the year was 83 words in a minute. I'm just trying to push you and make it a little harder. If you don't get there, that's okay. Let me read the rest of this to you. While they were walking, they felt the ground begin to shake. It's like there's an earthquake. Jack and Jill ran all the way back to their spaceship. They did not know what was happening and were both frightened. So what does frightened mean, guys? I'd ask my daughter, Clara, what does frightened mean? It means scared, guys. So they were frightened. The ground shook harder, and they heard a rumbling noise. So now it's shaking even more. It sounded like someone was snoring. So now it's like that. That's what they hear. They got into their spaceship and started to fly away. When Jack and Jill looked back, they were amazed. So guys, show me to make face. They were amazed. The ground was moving, and a giant mouth opened in a huge yawn. Two eyes stared at them. They had not found a planet. They had discovered a space monster. So guys, you want to remember that. You don't have to read this whole thing out loud, but if you do the questions, what did they discover? What did they find? A huge space monster. Okay? Now, if you look over here, then I did the comprehension question. So we have to, it's great if we can be fluent when we read out loud. But what's the ultimate goal, guys? Is it how fast we are, or is it what we understand? It's what we understand. It's being able to make a picture in our head. So look at this. Question 1 says, describe the setting of the story. Now you're like, what? Mrs. Essary, what does setting mean? Setting is when and where the story takes place. So I kind of wrote out like a sentence starter for you. The story takes place in blank, so in what? And then on a new blank. It takes place in 2 locations. Number 2, what did the characters do in the lake? Characters are who? So there were 2 characters in the story. There's Jack and there's Jill. They did different things. So I wrote out for you what they did in the lake. Jack dips his what? What does he dip in? Jill jumps in and blank. She's a little more adventurous and daring and does a little more. And then number 3, this is why I finished reading it to you guys. I said, what did the characters, so this is who, realize after they had left the planet? Jack and Jill realized they had discovered a blank. So what huge thing with two eyes that shook the ground did they discover? So guys, I missed you a lot. I'm going to send this out. I'm going to send some other phonics videos. Please have your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whomever email me. You guys can comment to me on Google Classroom if you have any questions. Okay, bye. I miss you.